Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. Today I'm joined by a very special guest and a quite familiar face. Drum roll please. Oh.
It's me, Ron.
Yeah.
That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch.
So today we're talking about the top 10 video game secrets that took years to figure out. You ready to divulge all these super secretive video game secrets, Ron?
Oh yes, I am born ready.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 10, Halo 3, Happy Birthday Lauren. Halo 3 was released in 2007, which makes me feel frickin' ancient. But all self-consciousness aside, Halo 3 was awesome. Millions of people played every day, and even with so many people playing, one Easter egg took 5 years to find, and that required some hints. In 2012, it was hinted that there was a hidden Easter egg nobody has found, and programmer Adrian Perez finally told fans that there was a secret that would appear on the campaign loading screen on a certain date. So people hit the bricks and quickly found out that if you loaded the campaign with a date set to December 25th, a message would pop up from Perez to his wife Lauren. Aww.
Up next, number 9 is GTA 5, Peyote Plants, but also aliens. So while there's a very intriguing mystery still unraveling concerning aliens in GTA 5, we're taking a look at something a little bit different from the game, the Peyote Plants. It took a few years before players started to discover all these plants, and there's 27 in total, one of which is referred to as the Golden Peyote, which turns players into a Sasquatch. And it goes further than that too. Depending on where you're standing when playing as a Sasquatch, if you let out your Sasquatch roar in the right spots, you'll hear howling from none other than Teen Wolf. Who you can then fight and upon victory get a skin for, that you can use in director mode of the game.
Number 8, Resident Evil 2, Wesker's Desk. Sometimes Easter eggs are hidden so damn well that only a masochist would find them, and Wesker's Desk is one of those. In Resident Evil 2, if you search Wesker's Desk, you're told nothing is there. But if you search it again, nothing is there. But if you search it a total of 25 times, nothing is there. But on the bright side, you're halfway there. That's right, you need to search the desk 50 freaking times to unlock this Easter egg. But hey, you made it. You stuck it out and clicked 50 times. You've wasted precious time out of your life opening and closing a desk, but it will all be worth it for the amazing reward. Just kidding, all you get is Rebecca photoshopped onto basketball gear. Awesome!
Up next, number 7 is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Bald Bull. Sometimes it can be a bit of a pain to take out characters in this game, especially Bald Bull, for some of us. Turns out there's an easier way to knock him out though, and that's with a specific visual cue that pops up in the game. One of the audience members in the background takes out a camera, and it flashes when he snaps a photo. That's when you need to throw the punch to knock him out. While a similar Easter egg was found by a Reddit user for when fighting against Piston Honda, the one for Bald Bull was actually brought to our attention by Satoru Iwata at a Nintendo Roundtable in 2009.
Number 6, Arkham City, Calendar Man's Riddles. Here's another date-related Easter egg, which is pretty fitting considering it involves Calendar Man. The Arkham games have something of a reputation for Easter eggs, with one hidden room in Arkham Asylum taking almost a year to find. But this one took even longer, with fans being totally clueless for 3 years. It turns out that if the date on the console is set for December 12th, the day Rocksteady was formed, and you go to see Calendar Man, you'll get a special message from him that couldn't be heard otherwise. Pretty sneaky, sis.
Do you remember my early work? Flawed, but it showed promise.
And number 5 is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Super Smash Bros. Is filled with a bunch of fun playable characters, but there's one that's hidden, and technically wasn't meant to be playable, that players found about 7 years ago after the game's release. The Master Hand. Turns out a glitch in the game is responsible for this one that unlocks a single person melee mode, and only happens when you erase your friends' names from the game.
Number 4, the sassy announcer from Wave Race Blue Storm. Wave Race was a super popular and well-made game for the GameCube, and despite its popularity, one secret was so well hidden that it went undiscovered for 8 years. Despite there being an actual secret code option, this one requires a bit more creativity. It was eventually discovered that if you play with the audio options to make it look like fog and input a modified version of the famous Konami code, yeah, I know that all makes a little sense, you get a new announcer who's just a jerk, saying things like, "You chose poorly," and "great," and "pathetic," and "if you're really, really good, adequate." It's really hilarious. I kinda wish every game had an announcer like this. It's awesome.
Pathetic. Forget it. Turbo time.
Up next number 3 is Donkey Kong, programmer's initials. An Easter egg that wasn't unearthed for 26 years? Yep, that's the case in the Atari 400 Donkey Kong, with developer Landon M. Dyer's initials. Many developers have popped their initials in games in the past, and while most of the time it's fairly easy to come by mistakenly or discover, this one had Dyer himself puzzled for years after the fact, when even he couldn't remember the arbitrary process necessary to unlocking the main screen that contained his 3 initials. Someone eventually went through all the codes and discovered the means necessary for unlocking it, which required setting a specific high score, losing all of your lives, and death by falling, among other details.
Number 2. The Chris Houlihan room from A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This one took over 10 years to find, and it was maybe worth it. You see, back in 1990, Nintendo ran a competition to get your name in a NES game, and it was won by Chris Houlihan, but the game itself was undisclosed. Turns out that this game was The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Well, over a decade later, a gamer found Chris's name on a plaque in a secret room that, when clicked, asked the player to keep Chris's secret. There are several ways to access the room using various glitches. The room itself is less of an Easter egg and more of a crash prevention measure for when the game can't determine what room Link's sent to, but the plaque is a really neat little egg for fans, and especially for Chris Houlihan.
And finally, in at number 1 is Splinter Cell Double Agent, Seal Rescue. Oh, how I love a good animal-themed Easter egg. It's hilarious, arbitrary, and involves seals. The best things do. So in order to find this gem, you've got to shoot a locker in the guard room near the end of Prison A. You get a gold piece, which you then need to pop into the vending machine that you passed earlier in that level. Then, out of a vent next to the vending machine, a seal pops out, and its name is Muffin. It leads you on a quest to go get it some food, which launches a series of other mini quests to help save its other seal siblings. Holy shit. Turns out they're actually seal aliens, who are super grateful for your help. How cute. There we have it, friends. Have you guys personally unlocked any of these game secrets and Easter eggs? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know. What was your favorite one out of the Easter eggs that we talked about?
Oh boy, I really love the seal one.
Oh, yeah. Anytime I get to hang out with seals and they turn out to be aliens, like, day made.
Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I mean, we're already both on the same channel, and I mean, if you guys dig hanging out with us, you should maybe head on over to Top 10 Nerd as well, because we talk comic books and all things nerdy, and it's a fun time. Ron talks about Harry Potter a lot too, it's great, and his love of Snape.
I don't love Snape.
Alright, catch you later, guys.
See ya.